Good morning, Saturday. What a day I've had, okay? I had to take Lucy out bright and early. Bunch of migrating birds decided to camp in the neighborhood. Very loud migrating birds, by the way. And here I am. So, let's start off with some good news. The astronauts landed safely. They're back. Everything's okay. As far as I'm concerned, one of the largest wastes of money we've done in a long time. I don't think they got any new information. What they didn't want to. The reason they're using the equipment they're using now that they have to test it is because they want to build on the moon. Trump is going to, one of these days, he's going to say the moon is ours. You know, and that, well, until he tries to build something on it. You know, once he starts constructing stuff on the moon, the problems are going to really start because it's, if you don't keep it an international, non-aggressive type operation, Trump will build, and Hegseth will build laser cannons and everything else up there so that they can destroy the Earth. Or Russia or whoever it is they want to destroy that week. Me, who knows, you know? What am I doing here? I have stuff I don't even know what. I have to really do a cleaning one of these days. I've been looking for a password I lost, and I can tell you it's not here. I don't throw out a lot of phone numbers and stuff like that. I keep them, but because I don't put what they're for. But I never say who they are or what they're for. So then I got to go back and try and find out, you know, and that's not easy sometimes. Really, it isn't. All right? So, sitting here, minding my own business. I think we talked about some of this stuff yesterday. Yeah. Did I say anything about the Kanye West concert canceled because he's not allowed in England? That's tough. We talked about the draft and Hegseth yesterday. Or I did it on a video. I don't know what I did with that video. So maybe I didn't talk about this. But anyhow, you know, Trump's the biggest DOJ client and the newest. He's going to take White House documents. Oh, yeah, I talked about that. He's going to take White House documents home so he can sell them. Because he's not going to read them. Because he doesn't know how to. He doesn't read. I think he may be functionally illiterate. You know, that's a good possibility there, you know. But anyhow, I got a lot of stuff to go over. People comments and stuff I haven't seen this week. Because I've been busy. As you can see, I'm still tired. Lucy slept against me last night because she was scared or cold or something. In the meantime, every bone in my body aches because I didn't sleep right. So we all know about the Melania and Epstein thing. She says I never knew him. There's tapes out. There's photos out of the two of them together. I mean, if you're going to lie, be a little bit more creative, you know. Say I never slept with the guy. I wasn't aware that he was a pimp, you know, something like that. You know, they can't really prove that. But when you say I didn't know who I never associated with them or something like that, don't be a bitch because there's more photographic evidence out there that you could shake a stick at and they'll manufacture some. And speaking of manufacturing, did you see where that guy from California that was running against going to be the front runner to replace Newsom has 4 women claiming that he raped them and had sex with them and everything else? I don't know whether that's true or not. You have to do some serious investigating into their bank records, you know, and find out what's going on there. You know, secret deposits and stuff like that, you know, that they have access to. I don't know. I would check a lot of bank accounts and stuff that were opened or something in that period of time and see if that you can connect the women or some agent to that. I'm pretty sure the payments will be in cash because you can't trace that. And don't tell me Bitcoin because you can trace Bitcoin. They tell you you can't, but you can. Otherwise, if you can't trace Bitcoin, Bitcoin's useless. There's no need to have it, really. It's not a convenience. An irritant. But if you can't trace it, then there's people that will love it, you know? All right, so we have with the Melania and the Epstein thing, you know, that's kind of stupid. Why even bother trying to hide something like that? Now here's something. This was a very small article on it was on the homepage of CNN. They're thinking Harris is thinking about running again for president. Now, I'm going to say this, and I don't want people to get upset. I voted for her the last time. I will not vote for her again. The way she just walked away and kept silent for months after Trump won, she's just crying and being a coward. I don't think that's somebody I want to be president of the United States. I want a fighter. I want somebody that's going to stand up to this schmuck, whether I agree with everything he says or not. Okay? Harris is a little too wishy-washy to be president, I believe. You know, what has to be done next for the next president, the job that's there, is going to take some very, very strong person, and I don't think she's strong enough. I think she kind of proved it when she lost, and you know, went into hiding and whatnot, didn't know what to say. So you know, she wasn't. I don't believe she was America's first pick. She was America's only pick last time around. So, you know, I'm not so sure she can do what she claims to be. You take the femininity out of it and the color of her skin out of it, and I don't think she's got much else to offer anybody. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that. But I'm disappointed that she's coming out and starting to talk about it now, because then she gets certain people to look the other way, certain people to move away from somebody that might really be of importance, you know. I think she and some of her constituency are upset with the possibility that Ocasio might run. I don't think she's old enough or something. I don't know the deal with her. I don't think she's experienced enough to be the president, but then again, you know, I think the lack of experience might be to her benefit, and the fact that she's good friends with Bernie Sanders, you know. If he wasn't in his 80s, I'd let him run for president, but he's at an age where he could drop dead tomorrow morning, or lose his mind, or something else, you know. So, sort of like me, you know, once you hit 80, where you're at, you know. You've excused the average. You exceeded the average age of males by quite a few years. And if you're 80 years old, and no, not quite enough that, you know, every year is a blessing. Every year is a plus, a bonus after 80, you know. And I think, and if you can't maintain your mind, yeah, I don't think, you know, if I'm Trump, I don't want to be president at 80 years old. You just got rid of Biden, who was losing his mind, and now you're losing your mind. That job puts a lot of stress on people, and they lose their minds. I mean, it's not, you know, you reach a certain age, and I don't care how many doctors you have or anything else, you're going to start losing some skills someplace along the line, you know. And that's what happened. That's definitely what happened. All right, so that was a big story, really, and it was really a small line, you know. And I think she put that story out to see how many people jump up and down and say, "Yay!" I'm not going yay at this point, all right, because she's going to be running against somebody that's smarter than she is. If she runs against Vance, Vance is smarter than she is. So is Rubio. But so don't her IQ and what she's done in the past don't mean anything. Being associated with the Department of Justice isn't going to help her because they're the ones that are going to try to destroy her. So I really don't know what she's. And then she took off and didn't do nothing but write a book. Didn't do anything but write a book. I'm not that tired. Sorry. Uh, but listen, I need. I think we need somebody that's. I don't know who's out. Bootleg would have too much of an uphill battle because he's gay. Um, if he wasn't gay, I think he'd be a shoo-in because his policies, his like stage presence and whatnot is very, very good. Harris looked a little bit like sometimes she was laughing at you when she was talking. And I just don't, you know, I didn't see her beating Trump in the debates that badly. I think Trump's, attention span. He's got like an adult ADT thing going. I think that's what they're going to find out he has, adult ADT, where he hasn't got the ability to concentrate on something for a long period of time. And I have that to a certain degree too. It depends on what I'm doing, you know. Uh, some days I can read a whole book. Some days I can't read a page, without losing interest in it. But it's the book. It's not me. It's the same thing. The projects I do. It's my physical ability to work and my energy level. And my energy level right now is in the pits. I got to go from here. I got to do the live video, which I'm not sure I have the energy to do. I have to find something new to talk about. Hey, just thinking about it. How many of you saw the original Apollo land splashdown and whatnot? I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was very important at the time. Let me tell you something. This is pretty true, as accurate as far as I can tell. CBS made a simulation of the astronauts landing on the moon and walking around on the moon and whatnot. That simulation was so good you could hardly tell the difference. And when you look at the video, it's really difficult to tell the difference. It's got to deal with lighting and shade and whatnot, But the thing about that was people started to question the veracity of the landing because of that tape. What was it? Was it the puppets, or was it the humans that were doing all this stuff because of the way they walk and everything like that? And then they went and that tape of that CBS tape disappeared, vanished a few years after that. And nobody knows what happened to it. Now that would have been a classic. That would have been something to keep around would have been worth $1 million right now, probably, or more. So I have my doubts about some things, that doesn't make a lot of difference. I just don't, I didn't see the purpose when they stopped and they never went back. I just never saw the purpose of the first one other than to beat Russia there. That was all that was involved. And you're spending a ton of money, and it's like now you spend a ton of money because you want to build a space platform on the moon so that depending on the president, depending on the politics involved, that could be a military base. At which point in time, the rest of the world is not going to be happy. So if it's Trump, he wants to do it, and he wants to do it tomorrow so that he can claim the world, that he can become emperor of the universe, which is what he's trying to do anyhow. That's not going to happen. He can't control his own diaper. How's he going to control other people? You know what I'm saying? All right, listen up, folks. This is it for this video. There's been a lot of views on the internet, and I'm very grateful for the people that are coming up to view it and everything else. But do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. You get, your benefit is that you find out when I'm going to be on, so that you can be someplace else if you want, or you can watch me. You never know. Sometimes I come out with some good shit. I really do. But I think you could find out everything I talk about. It's in the newspapers, it's in the stories, it's everywhere, you know? It's not a big secret. Okay? So I will see you guys on Monday, or if you're around in the next 20 minutes or so on my live video. So you guys take it easy, have a good day, and I'll talk to you then, okay? Ciao.